Welcome to the Play-by-Play podcast. It's your boy Von Vintage. I got my guys Top Shelf Trey and Ralph Peter. And today, I'm sorry y'all, but we don't really got much to talk about because P5 they not dropping games. We got hit with the they pulled one over on us. I'm confused. We all confused. But right now we trying to find out what it is we're gonna be playing. There's a couple games that people have been paying attention to, like Outriders, Gotham Knights. It's a couple things out there. But right now we're gonna talk about the game that's most anticipated for us right now at this moment. Top Shelf Trey, what you got? Because I already know what you got to say. What you got for him?
Most anticipated. Man, you just kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't prepared for that.
Man, you got this, man. Come on, man.
Well, as we know, I'm waiting for Outriders. It comes out, I think, 3 days?
Yeah, the demo does.
I'm ready for that. What else am I ready for? Dang, I can't think.
Let's stay on Outriders for a minute. Because I think that's something that people, those games in general, is real iffy, man. Because looter shooters, it could go Anthem, it could go Division 2. So there's a lot of in between. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm kind of nervous because it's like, Warframe, one of my favorite games. Borderlands 2, one of my favorite games. You know what I'm saying? And I done seen so many failures come out of this genre. I'm scared to even put faith into Outriders for real. You know what I'm saying? Like the gameplay trailers, they look nice. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me say one thing. I could say the bar is set high for those type of games due to the engines we now have in our system. Now you expect the game to play a certain way. Everything has to be smooth. The gameplay has to be right. The loot system has to be correct. But I don't think they're gonna fail. I think they're really gonna give you a real experience. I don't think they're gonna, because Destiny 2 was just Destiny 1 all over. That's the issue with a lot of games that are coming out. They're the same game that drop again.
Who even makes that game?
Destiny, Bungie,
yeah.
No, not Destiny.
Outriders.
Yeah.
I mean Outriders. Not interesting.
What?
I Google it.
Because you saying you've seen they work before.
No, I just seen the gameplay.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I've seen. Gameplay trailers and shit like that, Haven't seen what they've done before. At least I'm not sure.
I'm biased. When it comes to anything these days that's coming out, I don't have I don't expect anything anymore. I just wait for this shit to come out and then say, oh, this is good, Because these days, everything is trash, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
I agree.
You know what? And I had a theory that I want to run by y'all, man, because I was thinking about it, right? Like, okay, so it's not like these developers didn't know that the P5 and the Xbox thing wasn't going to drop, They knew they was going to drop. So why didn't they have they stuff prepared? And I'm thinking, I know the reason. I feel like developers were ducking Cyberpunk 2077 because they thought CD Projekt Red was going to come correct, but they didn't. So they really missed out their opportunity by playing scary. But I really think that people thought, okay, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be here, it's going to have staying power, and I feel like people were ducking that competition, bro. They didn't want to end up like Titanfall 2.
Nah.
I feel like it's a bigger thing. I feel like because everybody, even with the P5 shortages and everything, like I feel like, can we actually just say the pandemic's affecting development? Like it ain't going right.
Yeah, right.
Niggas ain't
You gotta
office.
remember, people are at home making games. It's way different. But I will say, I don't think it was a competition thing. I just think these games aren't complete. Like I don't think nothing's finished. You know what I'm saying? And I think right now, Sony is doing the Apple. Like, let's resell everything we got right now. Let them rebuy it to buy us time, and then we'll give them the heat. But we're going to give them the heat slowly. We're not going to just give them 3 fire games at one time. You're going to have a game. You're going to be stuck with that game for a little bit. Then maybe another one come out. Will it flop? Maybe. Hopefully not. It's going to be like that kind of feeling. Like, we're really going to be waiting for the good and the bad all together.
But not only that, Sony been doing some weird shit. Like, people are starting to say the controllers are starting to fail, and you only get a certain amount of hours of play out of each controller. Like, let's say you play the game 4 hours each day. that means you only have up to 400 hours of use with that controller. They're saying that that may be an issue. Then on top of that, they're saying when they first announced the PS5 was coming out, they showed it with certain specs and hardware that's no longer in the P5 now that it's out. So that's another weird thing too. So it's just a bunch of weird stuff going on with Sony that I don't understand, like that people are talking about. So yeah,
nah, that's deep. That's deep, bro. Damn.
We're saying we got a half-baked console, and the only thing we're gonna know whether it's good or not is with time, you know. So
you know what's deep? That Sony dropped the PS5 that we all anticipated. It took 6 years for the next system. We got it. We don't have no games. Godfall, flop. Spider-Man, basically a DLC. Demon Souls, remake. Like, what do we then the newest game they came out with,
Destruction All-Stars.
Destruction All-Stars, trash. So it's like, would I buy a P5? What's the P? I'm letting people know right now. You rushing to buy a P5? You just gonna play PS4 games?
Yo, that's great. That's facts too. Cause nigga, I drove all people. Let me tell y'all, I drove all the way to Alabama. I live in Georgia. It was a long drive. I was searching for the P5 for weeks, at least like 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that serious. There's no P5 games out here that's like need to have right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I will say this: I want Gotham Knights really bad. But all of it is just stuff that's down the line. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up that it's like that, but it's a sad state for games, honestly, man. Like, even like what Ruff was saying with the controllers, man, like that's an issue that they should have been fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, we still dealing with these issues. It's ridiculous.
I really think I don't even know really what to say about it, because everything is in such a funny moment. Like, how it's sold out everywhere, people going crazy trying to get them. Then on top of that, there's no games for it. And on top of that, having controller issues. Right now, Sony needs to address these issues. They need to give everybody who bought one something, right? Because we don't have nothing. Like, what's then a new controller, bro? It's like $70. Yeah. So what you did was you jacked up the price. I get it. The controller is fire. It's an experience to have it.
Yeah.
But you jack up the price. $70 a controller, $70 a game, and then so if your controller breaks, that's crazy, bro. You tell me, if you bought two controllers, if you buy another two controllers, bro, that's $140 on muscle. You ain't even get a game.
They made certain pieces on the controller removable and interchangeable. So why not have done it for the joystick, for the interlock switch?
That's true too. Kind of introduce like a scuff feel to them, like you could do and customize them. That would be such a good game. Or maybe we need to write them a letter.
Yeah, and in the process to even get your controller fixed, because a lot of controllers are having drift issues. It's a long ass process. It's gonna take you a long time just to get another controller, or you get it fixed or whatever.
If that's your only controller, you might as well go buy another one, bro. You might as well just drop the 70, because you're not gonna be able to do nothing for mad long. And you can own, and don't get me wrong, they have PS5 versions of the game, but you can't use the PS4 controller on those versions. So if you got like Call of Duty P5 version, you assed out.
So this is getting spicy. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. So am I hearing y'all right? Are y'all saying that basically P5 isn't worth it right now?
No.
I'm gonna say I love
that I bought it, but I think Trey's about to say a similar thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy I got it. It's like one of those things. I got it. I'm excited I got it. But what did I get with it? Like, I just got it, bro. It's like, it's literally like buying the most fire pair of kicks and having nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's like we got it because we had it and we was fortunate to get it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So we got it. But when you gotta go out there and go get it, it's kind of like the movie industry. Like, everything, if you really look into it, everything coming out during COVID right now it's trash, bro. Like the movie industry is trash right now. Like remember, like what was anticipated? Like Wonder Woman's movie was
Oh my
anticipated.
god,
It was
garbage.
horrible. It was horrible.
The heavy hitters are just coming out. I mean, I haven't heard. It seemed like it's more like the small movies that's doing big, like the movies that you don't expect no more. Like the people with the big names.
Indie vibes are going crazy right now.
Yeah, like what movie did I just watch the other day? It had so many actors in it. It was the dudes in New Orleans or something. Yeah, did y'all watch that movie?
Nah,
it was in New Orleans.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but dang,
they
was all the new young stars was in it, right? They was robbing a casino or some shit.
Yeah, they
something
was robbing,
like that.
They was robbing casinos.
The
movie had T.I. in it, and T.I. was like the bad guy, of course.
Yeah,
it was
the
birthmarks. Yeah,
skin disease. Right.
And I was like, okay, so I'm watching the movie, bro. Mine was 2 hours and some change. I watched the whole movie, and then the ending just had me like, yo, I could have did without. Like, you have all these stars and older stars too, and it still comes out to be trash. Like, what's going on? Like Denzel Washington last movie, I heard it wasn't that fire. And when has somebody said a Denzel Washington movie wasn't fire?
Yeah,
like when have those words went together? It doesn't, bro.
We living in strange times when people say Jamie Foxx had a good movie, but Denzel didn't.
It was all right, but
but the fact that you could say it's all right, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like, yo, did you see that? That's the feeling you're supposed to get from this type of movie.
But you could just tell everything is lacking. I mean, of course, the pandemic is affecting everything. You feel me?
Right.
I think people tend to forget this is what's going on, right? Like when everybody was like, "Oh, the shortages! Like, why is there shortages, bro? It's a pandemic going on right now." Like,
right.
Yo, certain countries have limitations on how they can process things, how they workers could work. The list goes on, and we gotta understand some of our products come from these countries. You know what I'm saying?
Even with the movie industry, Tom Cruise was just spazzing about that. Like, basically, if you make the environment unsafe, I'm going to fire you. Like, they're trying to be serious, but I can see where it's difficult. Like, you know how hard it is to get a bunch of pieces. Yeah, a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of people need to follow directions. That's the hardest thing to get people to do. But yo, make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. People be like, whatever. It's not that serious.
That's the simple directions, nigga. That's the hardest joint to get people to follow, bro. Yep. It's crazy.
Because I remember when the couple weeks before, I had took a trip to LA last year, and it was like I can't remember what month it was, but it was a little bit after COVID hit, and I remember because we're in Atlanta, so being in Atlanta it was none of that. Put your mask before you come in the store. It was none of these rules going on. But as soon as I went to LA, all that changed. I had to wear that joint everywhere. And then when I came back, that's the mentality I had. Like, damn, it was serious out there, you know?
Right. Nah, that's facts. Nah, it definitely changed development and everything, man. I still think they was ducking competition. But I think that, as like y'all was saying, the pandemic plays a huge role in that shit, man. Like, that's why it's amazing to me some of the live service games that are able to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta commend them for that. But I don't know. It's looking like most of these games that we're talking about is gonna be dropping in like March and stuff and May. So right now it's kind of just a lull, man. A lot of people are voicing the opinion that the P5, I mean, it's worth waiting on now.
I mean, you know how it is with any game when it first come out. Like, it's gonna have its bugs, it's gonna have its problems, but that was cool and all. That was a risk we all took to get it early, but then I have nothing to do with it. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with these games, I feel like the PS4 was out. I remember I caught my PS4 like 2013? I had PS4 from 2013 to 2020. And the P5 come out and I have nothing to do on it. Like, that's, to me, that makes no sense. You feel me? Like, this should have been heat after heat coming out. Like, at least 2 solid games. They dropped Godfall, and maybe the developers thought Godfall was going to be it. Like, but that's not even the game for everybody. So they didn't even drop a game that everybody could play. Like, like like let's say they just drop like an Uncharted 6 or whatever, 7, whatever one they up to, something like that, where everybody's gonna want to cop because PlayStation exclusive and it's fire. It dropped Spider-Man.
I hope this doesn't become like a new trend where you only get like a couple heavy hitters for a console generation, because I was even mad with the Switch. Like, I feel like the Switch has some good games, but like it would like we're in the what year is this with the Switch?
Shit.
Second, the third? I mean the third?
Nah, it's been longer than 3 years, definitely, right?
Yeah.
It had to be. I feel like it's been longer than 3 years.
But I mean, the cycle is usually what, 5 to 6 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's getting close. You know what I'm saying?
Came out in March 2017.
Okay, so what's that? 17?
4 years ago.
That's 4 years. Okay, so the cycle's almost over for this shit. You feel me? For the Switch. So, and we only got like a couple heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, we got some good games out of it, but I was expecting to buy more. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But there wasn't too many that made you go like, oh, I need to get like Breath of the Wild. Yep, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Others, stuff like that was a big deal. But then there was some that was like, nah, I can go without that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I really buy that? Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. The truth is, not to cut you off. What you say, Rob?
No, go ahead.
I'm about to say the truth is, this is how I really feel. Everything lately is underwhelming. You would think the fact that so many people are in the crib, even with music, right? You would think these people, I guess because they not able to go out and maybe find, whatever drives them to make inspiration, maybe that could play a big part. But I haven't even heard an album where I've been like, yo, this is a classic. This is fire. Like, nothing. Everything is underwhelming. People drop albums and you listen to it and it's like, oh, it was alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only hard album that came out, I want to say, was it Pop Smoke's album? Did Pop Smoke's album come out during the pandemic? And that was 50 pushing it, making sure it came out the right way. You know what I'm saying? Certain artists, like, that was a real big, he had a heavy hitter to push that. So it's like, what else been fire? 21 Savage album was pretty dope, but it's so quick how it's over. Like, nobody's listening to this music no more. Right. It's like the album come out, I swear, the week it's fired, the next week, whoop.
Yeah, that kind of happened with Nas' album too. Like, I thought that shit was dope, and I heard people talk about it for a week, but then it's kind of like, it doesn't sit with people no more. And that's another thing that's kind of just like changing with the times, you know what I'm saying? Since people have so much time to just run through shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know if people had the attention span to hold on to something for that long, unless it's going to be mind blowing. We ain't getting mind blowing.
And I'm wondering, what you just said, that's a scary thought, bro. Are we getting to the point where everything has to be mind blowing to be good? Like everything has to be so fire to the point that, because we just have so much expectations now. Like, the bar is set so high for everything. But I don't know, is that really what it is? Is it just too much? Is it too much of one thing at one time?
You just can't hit us with the same shit that we've seen before. Like, let's take, like, we was talking about Among Us, right? Like, how they took something simple, but they did it in a way that's just different enough where it's like, okay, it's gonna catch fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more. Like, it doesn't have to be like what they was trying to do with Cyberpunk, but it needs to at least be something that I don't feel like I've seen a bunch of times already. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Cyberpunk wasn't even revolutionary, bro. Like, if you really think about it, even the dude who compared it to San Andreas, bro.
Yeah, that was a great video.
PS2.
Cyberpunk was not revolutionary, or that's just
a shame.
What is the last game? What is the last game now? Like, I feel like when the new God of War came, that was heat.
But look, you made a good. Let's touch on your point though, because you made a good point though. What did you say? How did you word it? You said our expectation is too high, basically. Mm-hmm. Did we set the bar too high? That's a good question, because let's think about how long it takes to actually make one of these games. Fucking Red Dead took how long, bro? Yeah. And that was considered a game, even though there was a great game, even though there was some people saying that it was too this or too that. we can't deny the fact that it was a great graphics and it was just an overall good game. You know what I mean? It was a AAA game, an experience, AAA experience.
Right.
How long did Grand Theft Auto take to get made? When we still playing that on P5, that shit it released on the P3.
Right.
My point is, it takes a long time for these games to be made. So are we even asking too much? Like, I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, how long should that first game that really hits on the PS5 take for us to get? You know what I'm saying? Since the P5 just came out.
But I will say, and like, so think about it like this though. This is my only problem with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto, right? We got different versions, but Grand Theft Auto 5 just happened to be like the most one where you can be the most consumed through the online gameplay and all these different types of things. In the way they're so involved in keeping the game alive.
Yeah, they nurture that shit.
Yeah, like they really treat that like, yo. But let's say you get a game like you said, Red Dead, online service is trash. Like people don't want to play that online. And Red Dead kind of was the same as the first Red Dead, just a better version. But it didn't hold up the weight to last too long. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like now people had the Grand Theft Auto.
Like the story was too slow.
Yeah, the pacing was kind of slow.
That's another thing, bro. The last few games that came out that was fire had terrible stories, like The Last of Us 2. It's like, what is going on? Like, what did the writers thinking? Like, they just trying to dive the game to the ground? Like,
I don't know. I think people just trying to be too different, or they just being too lazy. Like, it's either they too far on the spectrums. You feel me? Either they too left or they too right, bro. Like
Grand Theft Auto got it just right. They got it just right.
Who?
That's the Grand Theft Auto. They got it. It's for what other game can you name that's been the same game since PS3 and it's still out on the PS5? Ain't none.
Because even Cyberpunk story was dumb.
Yeah, that shit was pretty dumb.
Like they made
pretty dumb.
Like I feel like they had everything going on at one point, and then the CEO was like, he always wanted to have what's his name in the game, so he
or Keanu Reeves.
Yo,
we're gonna make a story about
they
him.
spent so much of the budget on that dude too, bro. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yo, that was so.
What does happen?
He didn't even act that good on that shit, bro. For real.
He's not even the best actor, bro. He's not even like the most fire actor in movies. Like, I only really fuck with him from John Wick in The Matrix. The same person in each movie. He's the same person in every movie. So
right.
What did he
Tom had a clout, boy.
Yeah, she just made The Matrix, man. She just made a Matrix game or something. Honestly, a fire Matrix game could have been it.
Yeah, like a new Into the Matrix game. Yeah, like that shit used to be the shit. I used to love that joint, bro.
And that would give a new game experience. When's the last time you slowed down time in the game and that type of caliber? You know what I'm saying? Remember a while all the games were doing that? Like every shooting game you play, like True Crime and all them type of games, you slowed down time and jumped and dodged bullets. Max Payne. So I mean,
right now, this is what happened.
Super hot too.
They was the transition from P4 to P5. It's been like this because Sony didn't want to let everybody know their plans. So that's why there's so many people that was still making P4 games. You know, like Cyberpunk, Little Nightmares even just dropped, and the P5 version ain't even out yet. You feel me? There's so many games it's like P5 version later. That's because they probably didn't even know how the system was gonna be. You feel me? Sony only gave it to the people that were just making Sony games, Sony only games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think the only reason we have this transition issue.
Yeah, nah, I think that's definitely a big factor of it. Definitely, man. I'm just gonna say one more time, man. I think they was ducking Cyberpunk. Niggas seen that Cyberpunk trailer, they got just as hyped as we did. And they was like, oh no, we can't drop the same time as them niggas ain't gonna play our shit.
I've never seen, I mean, you've seen plenty. Let me tell you, first off, big hitter games always drop around the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually a big hitter game comes out in October. You know, that's like the time, like Christmas time, where all the kids' parents could buy them the games, all that. November, families, like all those times where people all of a sudden have money. That's when they drop the big hitter games.
That's true. Bro. They could be a week apart or a couple days apart.
Look at now. We're all the way in March. We still have no heat.
We ain't even got a direct. We ain't even get a direct.
Direct.
We ain't get no direct talking about this is what's coming for you for the year.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so get ready.
What you saying?
We ain't got no Sony direct, no nothing. We don't know what's coming out or if anything's coming out.
Because think about it.
Nintendo's direct, it was trash.
If Cyberpunk failed, then everybody should have. If they really had something to put out, they would have been fighting. This is the time because everybody's mad at Cyberpunk. Our game is going to take over. None of that happened.
Y'all know what Nintendo's what they ended their direct with? The game they ended their direct with?
No.
Splatoon 3. That's what they ended it with.
Oh, is that the paint shit?
I don't even know what that is.
I think that's painting or some shit like that.
Nah, it's like it's like their version of the Call of Duty-ish kind of games, but it's like
shit.
It's I don't know, it's wacky and shit. Some shit I want, but
is that the joint with the paint?
A lot of people like it though.
Is that the paint game where you can paint and stuff?
That's literally what I just said.
You said?
That's not that.
Oh, it's not the paint. It's not the paint game. That paint game looks like
It's a game where they shoot and paint and shit.
Yeah, you got to do more to level with paint.
It's wacky though.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's like they they shoot a game on Nintendo. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Because they can't just have. Well, I mean, it's not like they don't just have a bunch of crazy games out there too. Like where it's violent. They have violent games on Nintendo, but they love to showcase games like that though. You know what I'm saying?
And it sold well. That's a big game for them. It sold decently well, but for them to lead the direct with that, and that's what y'all give us to look forward to for the next. For the rest of the year until your next direct, it's kind of lukewarm, my guy. Like
underwhelming, bro. That's what I'm saying. All we have is a bunch of stuff that's like, and I'm telling you, it's Splatoon 3, so it's the same game essentially, just more upgrades. So that's what we've been getting, the same exact stuff, bro. How many versions? Like. Grand Theft Auto to me does it right every time they come. I bet you the new Grand Theft Auto 6, it's going to be a whole new experience. You're not going to feel like you're playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I just have that.
I don't even feel like we need another Grand Theft Auto right now.
Not right now.
I mean, they could just keep updating the game. You know what I'm saying?
They just need to give us a different IP or something old. We had this discussion before. You feel me? But if they hit us with another Grand Theft Auto, it's just going to tire us out. You know how long we've been playing Grand Theft Auto? Years. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us a break. Give us something new, something fresh.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people who would kill for the Grand Theft Auto 6.
It's always gonna sell regardless. I just feel like the expectation and want would be greater if we got a little break. You know? Yeah,
something different. Definitely, man. But, all right, man. I mean. All right, comment section, chat, help us out. Let us know what games y'all been looking into, what y'all looking forward to anyway, because right now, I don't know, it's looking like you could have waited on the P5. Is it a waste of money? I don't know. Y'all decide, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and stay with us, because we'll be back with some more fire content.
You did.